Yo, what's poppin' everybody? This is Saber94. Gonna be showing you guys my future deck list before we move on to the next deck. This is the deck that I've used to basically abuse Miraidon and Iron Crown EX. They basically work together as you would expect. Just boost damage, do a lot of cheap, fast damage without really any drawback. And you also get free energies from the deck, just too good. And then we power up other future Pokemon like Iron Hands EX and even the small Iron Hands. I like to run a few copies of this guy too. So that's basically it. I mean, not really much of an explanation. This card is just great. It's Sparkling Strike attack, just the solid damage too when you power it up. 160, and then with all the other damage adders you got, it's gonna do significant damage for just a basic. So max out this card is our best and hopeful opener. Max out Iron Crown EX as well. Technically you can attack with this guy too because we have two psychic energies in the deck, but it's not really much of a great attacker. You could do some spread, I suppose, in a very weird situation, but it's not really what you're gonna try and do. You just want to have a bunch of these down to boost your damage, and that's basically it. Plus 20 is just insane, especially when you consider, other past cards like Regiarch EX giving you plus 10, and Deoxys from Plasma as well, which is very similar to this card in a way when you think about it. But I guess obviously to keep up with the times, they gave this guy plus 20 to make him more broken, and because Pokemon have more HP. But you gotta think about Pokemon do more damage nowadays anyway, and they give this guy plus 20 and then all the regular Pokemon get the ass treatment as always. So I don't like that, but of course they're gonna do that. Obviously, to go with these guys, we got Iron Hands EX. This is your, I guess you could say, main win condition. You power this guy up and then you use Amp very much. You get an extra prize if you kill something. With all of the bonus damage you're going to get through Cobalt Command, this guy's range just increases dramatically. So you get into that 160, 180, 200 or over 200 range too. Like if you got all of the Iron Crown's Cobalions down, plus the tool, that's 100 damage, so that's 220. Get an exact one-hit KO on some Pokemon and get that third prize. Just too busted. But Arm Press is going to be solid too, for a solid attack, boosting this guy, doing a lot of damage with the bonus too. So 160 plus 100 or 80, you're in that, 240, 260 range? That's still pretty good. Especially when you consider you're powering this guy easy with Peak Accelerator. I got the regular Iron Hands too. Maybe some people are going to think it's strange to have this card, but if we're going to be hitting EXs and we're not in that range to use Amp very much to get that bonus, we just want to do conventional damage and maybe get a conventional KO, then this guy just does 160 for 3 as well if you're hitting an EX or V. So it's the same as the big Hariyama, but you don't have the risk of giving away 2 prizes. Even though this guy has a lot more HP, more than likely he's going to be dying in one shot against some of the strongest Pokemon anyway. We don't really have a way to boost our HP like in the H index, so this guy can be more of a better option, you could say. Everything else about it is not that good. Volt Wave, it does 30 for 2 with a chance for paralysis, but it's worse than this guy. And just in general, I mean, this guy can do 160 always. This guy is only against Vs and EXs. But, he gives us that lightning coverage. I only have 4 of these anyway, and this guy needs a Psychic 2 to attack. That's about it, really. I mean, the 30 more HP, I guess it might matter, but not really. That's it. But this guy can also be compatible to be powered up with Electric Generator too. Got to keep that in mind. Because we're running a lot of copies of that card, might as well have enough targets, just this guy, to make that work. So that's why I think this card is important. Now the trainers is just going to be a lot of turbo stuff. Got the Techno Radar, maxed this out. Better than Ultra Ball because it just gets us 2 cards for less of a cost. I forgot about this card, that's why I was running Ultra Ball in the beginning, but I got it in right now, of course. Max it out. It's an easy way to get the Iron Crown, set them up on the bench to get the boost, and search our attackers too. Search the Miraidon. Obvious stuff. Got the Nest Balls too, 3 of these. Just once again, just make sure we're consistent and fast to get those Pokemon down. Just 4 of this isn't going to be enough. So do the Nest Balls as well. And then I do a bunch of the trekking shoes as well. Just discard item-based draw basically with a discard. Get rid of some we don't need. Can be pretty cool. Same for the pickaxe. Do 3 of this. Helps in this regard too. Straight draw. And got the electric generator for energy acceleration. Just 3 should do the job. I got 14 energies. 2 of those are psychics. You are going to be missing it, but if a few of them work, even if you just get 1 energy, then it did its job. So it should be good enough. Max out the Future Booster Energy Capsule. Long ass name, but great effect. Get that free retreat on our future Pokemon, and then the plus 20 damage. It just makes all of your attackers even more potent. You know, soften things up while you're getting energies with Miraidon. Set things up to die to amp you very much. Just good stuff. And this is important to put on this guy too. A lot of the times you're going to be saving a bunch of these to just put on these guys, because it's common for your opponent to try and get you stuck in this regard, because this guy can't really do much and that double retreat sucks. So this is an out in a way too. I don't actually have any switches in this deck because we're tight with the space with all the other stuff we gotta run. So this is just gonna have to do. 4 copies should get the job done. Speaking of not having a switch, I guess this is gonna count as a switch. The A spec of choice is gonna be Prime Catcher in this deck. This is pretty much an item Guzma, so it's great. The mass energy accelerator thing with the tentacles, I use that too. It's great in this deck. Broken. But I think this just makes more sense because it's another switching outlet, which I appreciate. Plus is a pull card. And this deck, because of all the turbo damage we can do, all the pressure we can apply, this deck really appreciates it. So I think it is the best ace pick of choice in this deck. And it's annoying because I crafted 1 and then I realized you get 1 from the ladder too. So I basically just lost a bunch of crystals for no reason. Didn't get that value. Oh well. And that's all of the item cards. There isn't any stadium in this deck. Because of space issues, once again, I don't really know what to take out. I do want to still have a lot of supporters because we don't really have any draw support Pokemon or just any other consistency booster in this regard. If they ever print some sort of future Pokemon that gives you some kind of draw power, because of the existence of this card, this deck is going to be even more broken. But until then, that's all we got. Supporter cards is just going to be some standard stuff. Max out the Iono or Iono, your N basically. I do double research in this deck because we don't really care too much about discarding some things. So I think 2 copies is alright. I got the 1 Zisu as well as my alternate Copycat. We don't have Copycat anymore as far as I know. And this is kind of similar, I guess. You draw an extra card. I've used it before alongside with Copycat, but now we're just gonna use it on its own. Pretty much just that. I mean, draw until you have the same cards as your opponent plus 1. So if they got a big hand, it's gonna be pretty good. Then I got the 1 Cynthia. If something dies, but you draw until have 8, it's pretty good. I mean, the Miraidon is gonna commonly be dying anyway, so this should be a pretty live supporter, like the secondary effect. We're gonna get the big bonus, so that's sweet. Got the double Arven. Might as well, I guess. This is a way for me to get the capsule switch basically and an item card, so can get some useful stuff. Get the Techno Radar. Get Trek Issues if we just want a straight draw to a more useful supporter. If we can't do much, but we got what we need this turn, you can do stuff like that. So just do double of that. I mean, it's not like we got a lot of great supporters now. And then the one Miriam is my recovery card and a draw supporter too. She's pretty cool. I like her. Not a lot really to discard to recover back, but even if you just get one thing and then you draw 3, it's good. And then maybe you get something that you need. Never know. Okay, and that's all of the trainer cards. Lots of them. I don't think I forgot anything. Oh, boss's orders. Use this, pull at the right time, win the game. Pretty good. And yeah, that's it. And then energies, 12 lightning energies and 2 psychic energies for the Miraidon. And maybe this guy, I guess. That's about it. It's not really consistent for me to run Gallade or Iron Valiant. We would have to run more psychic energies. We kind of have to put the future capsules on them and then switch around all day to get the bonus from his ability. Yeah, he does more base damage for 3 energies, does 200. This guy does 160. But I mean, it's just you have to build the deck differently. I don't really see that much merit. When you hit something with this, they're going to be softened up enough so that this guy or this guy can just finish them off if you got a few of these down. So yeah, I don't really see the point. I got 2 psychics for this guy, Spark and Strike, because you never know. And then maybe this guy, very rarely, but you never know. But that's about it. And it does hurt the consistency a little bit for the generator, but I mean, it should be all right, I want to say. Got a lot of energies to make sure we always can grab something with this guy too. Okay, and this is basically the deck. It's very simple. It's all basics. It's a turbo-ass fast deck. You always want to play second. You want to open with Miraidon, get that bonus, put the pressure. And it's solid. It's kind of idiot-proof, a good sort of novice deck, kind of plays itself. Has the benefits and drawbacks, as I've said in the matches. But that's basically the deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What a